And now for the last presentation. We move from the school of imagination and harmony and conflict in music to Symphony for Home Zoo by Dr. Bhannavichaya Vanas, Vadhanasiriphongs, sorry, from the Faculty of Music from BangkokThonburi University, Thailand. Okay, while he's setting up, let me read his um, abstract. The new creative work titled Symphony for Home Zoo is designed with three primary objectives in mind. One, to study the method of composing program music. Two, uh, to present an innovative approach to symphonic composition inspired by a home zoo. And three, to contribute new knowledge to the academic field of music composition. The composition draws its inspiration from the private zoo located within the residence of Khun Kittipong Jaruthanin. This unique home zoo, which features a variety of rare animal species and is open to the public by prior arrangement, provided the composer with a rich source of creative material. The experience of visiting this zoo, observing the animals, and immersing in the environment was the foundation for the musical themes and motifs that characterized this symphony. Okay. Uh, so the symphony has a structure of the sonata form, the classical framework, so ABA. And then the composition spans approximately 8 minutes and demonstrates a blend of Western musical techniques, incorporating a wide array of melodic lines, rhythmic patterns, and timbral colors, as well as harmonic texture. The work highlights the use of counterpoint layering and emphasizes the horizontal independence of each melodic line while allowing for a more flexible interpretation of vertical harmony. This study contributes to the academic discourse by demonstrating how environmental and experiential factors can translate into musical expression by providing fresh perspectives on the composition process. So a while ago, Anat did a composition based on fieldwork, and the second presenter uh, composed from water bottles. And now we are going to listen to a composition inspired by a zoo, but using the classical sonata form. Additionally, the dissemination of this symphony provides an opportunity to share these ideas with the wider musical community, inviting further exploration and discussion on the relationship between music, nature, and creativity. Let's listen to the presentation entitled Symphony for Home Zoo, a paper presentation to be done by Dr. Bhannavichaya. Let's give him a big hand.
Good evening, all the listeners. Actually, this is my first time to be a speaker in a conference. So, okay. If there any mistake, make me apologize. Okay. I will present my piece, which is Symphony for Home Zoo. This piece, the original came from, actually, I was like petting a fish, an aquarium fish, and I recognize one of person whose name is Khun Kittipong Jaruthanin, he was named Indiana Jones of Thailand, and I recognized him since I was a college student, and one day he knew that I composed a piece about bull shark for him, and so after that he told me that he has his private zoo, so he asked me to compose a piece especially for home zoo. and I postponed that until I graduate. So I start composing this piece after that. So this piece is also one of my early piece to compose without advice from my teacher, which means 100% was done by myself. Okay. The objective of the research is already mentioned. So at the beginning, let's listen to the piece. Then I will analyze it loudly, and then we listen at after we listen after I talk about my analysis again. Okay. I read. Okay. Symphony for Homsu is a contemporary classical piece with duration of approximately 8 minutes. So before composing this piece, I studied sonata form with development and program music. In addition to visiting and studying various animals in the home zoo, this this piece follows a sonata form with a single movement and is performed continuously without breaks, maintaining a tone center throughout. In terms of musical elements, the researcher employed cyclic technique combined with new elements to create a cohesive work that simultaneously communicates the essence of the home zoo, featuring various exotic and rare animals, each with distinct characteristics, temperament, and behaviors. So this work is response to PGVIS theme of conflict and harmony for the year. The piece often features sudden change in thematical material reflecting the sudden shift in animal behavior and the changing appearances of zoo visitors. So this characteristic of abrupt thematic changes is a significant feature of this composition, and the structure of the piece is as follows. Okay, so then let's move to introduction section. No? Okay, this is a piano reduction score. Okay, introduction, the piece begins with a melody imitating the quiet, wandering movement of animals, starting with the note C. Tension gradually builds until it concludes with a question-like phrase in bar number 4. So from bar number 5 to 8, it presents a responding phrase that mirrors the initial question. Okay. Then the piece moves to the exposition section. This section introduces the first theme, focusing on the impressions of observing land animal, quadrupeds, and mammals. The main motif moves in step and note sequences recycled from bar number 9 to 16, while the accompaniment moves in leaps and often repeated note. Recycled from bars number 1 to 8, the orchestration techniques use creative diverse atmospheres within the given constraint. At this section, the tone center is still at C. Then we move to the transition. This section bridge theme 1 to theme 2, extending some motif from the first theme and alternating between two contrasting motifs to present the excitement of seeing various fascinating animals. The tension in this section leads into the second theme. Okay. This is the second theme section. The theme highlights the impression of observing small animal, bird, and aquatic creatures. The string instrument in bar number 57 to 67 stimulate the behavior of small animals, while the range and direction of the melodies are broader due to their more agile movements. This section also contrasts with narrow register motif in the piano that imitate the sound of flying birds. The chordal harmonies in the low register represent slow-moving animals like tortoise. Some elements of the second theme continue into the development section. The second theme centers on the pitch B. Okay, this is the development. It is a development section. This section is divided into two parts and continues from themes 2 without interruption. The first part uses material from the exposition directly from second theme, introduction, and the first theme. The second part, The second part introduced new melodic phrases to express the enjoyment and happiness of the visitors. The new melodies are presented at a faster tempo, as seen as crochet equal 110. Okay. Recapitulation is start from bar number 151 to the end. The tone center of the pitch returns to C, summarizing all the experience. Despite the zoo's small size, the diversity and rarity of the animals, along with their suitable living conditions, provide a valuable experience. This section represents the climax of the piece. The thematic material developed mainly from theme 1, using high detail counterpoint and increasing tempo to create an exciting and compelling conclusion. The coda concludes the piece with a rapid diatonic scale ending on the pitch C, with the starting note of the piece. Actually, this piece, the one you listen, is never been performed yet. The sound came from the Sibelius, and but I also have this version of piano reduction with the piano is already been performed. If you interest on the piece, I show you the link below here. Sorry. Oh, this one, okay? Okay, and that's all of my presentation.
Thank you for your first presentation, right? What conflict did you encounter while you were composing this work? Conflict, yes, problem or challenge.
My challenge is try my best to compose music by imitating the character of the animals, because okay, we know that each species of animal have different activities and different life they spend their life, but it feels to me like when we outcome it, try to write on the piece, it doesn't, for myself, it doesn't make that much difference. So I have to borrow another technique such as immediate suddenly change the rhythm, or like stratification, like that, immediate change to cause the attraction. Yes.
Okay. Question? Comment? Thank you very much for sharing your work to us, and hopefully this will be performed in the future.